Somebody, somewhere tried to make a few quid. This is the upsetting detail at the core of Altiorgate, which was still the cause of anxious discussion at Cheltenham on Sunday, as racing and betting professionals tried to divine the lessons to be learned. There is room for debate about when is the right moment to inform the general public about an injury to a horse. My impression is that the news about Altior could have been got out earlier, but the delay was not egregious. There have been longer delays in other cases that caused less controversy. What gets everyone's backs up is the impression that, in the middle of Wednesday afternoon, somebody who appears to have learned Altior would miss the Tingle Creek stuck a few bets on the other horses and/or laid him on Betfair. That sudden activity caused a couple of firms to change their odds and, in at least one instance, to suspend betting. I imagine we'll never know who was responsible for these bets. Neither the British Horse Racing Authority nor the Gambling Commission will say if they're investigating a particular subject, but there have been similar cases in the past which never led to disciplinary action. The bookmakers will know who placed the bets, but if they choose not to complain about those bets, their clients will remain anonymous. The damage done here has been limited. I was pleased to learn from Unibet that they have refunded all bets on Altior in the Tingle Creek market, even to people who backed him weeks ago, before his breathing problem became apparent. That's a refund of something like 2/3 of the bets they'd taken on this market, they say. It's more than most folk would expect them to do in the circumstances. The damage that concerns me is to racing's image. Once again, it looks like a sport that allows those in the know to make a canny profit while the rest of us are left in the dark until that profit has been secured, possibly at our expense. The BHA says it is embarking on a significant program of integrity education for the benefit of racing's participants. I hope that as part of that, they stress to trainers the importance of getting information out to the public before the betting market starts to move. This, to me, is the key target. You can get away with a short delay if the betting market doesn't move. But even a short delay is too long if the price starts to drift. On Friday, Henderson said that he had moved as quickly as he could. He couldn't have done this any better, any quicker, any more professionally, he told ITV Racing at Cheltenham. There are different ways for trainers to deal with this burden, and we don't know how Henderson handled it. They can rush to inform the public if they have a setback to a fancied horse in a major race. They can restrict news of that setback to a small handful of trusted people until the time comes to break the news to everyone else. What we really need is for all trainers to accept responsibility for getting the news out before the market breaks the news for them. It is not an easy thing to do, and sometimes you'll fail through no fault of your own. I accept that it's an additional pain for people whose work is already challenging and complex. But, for the sake of racing's image, the sport needs trainers to concede that this is now part of their job. I'm afraid it's clear from his pronouncements over the past week, and on previous occasions, that Nicky Henderson, in my opinion, does not see this as being part of his job, and I'm sure there are many other trainers who share his feelings on the subject. For the sake of racing's appeal to new generations of punters, that attitude needs to change. If people feel that racing is too dangerous an environment for them to approach, they will go elsewhere. Today's Best Bets by Chris Cook. I was gnashing my teeth a bit when Souchy Hall Street 1.30 got beat at Kempton a fortnight ago, when he got going a bit too late and ran on to be fourth. He was trying to repeat a course and distance success from a fortnight earlier, from a £7 higher mark. He's gone up another £1 today but gets an extra 300 yards at Wolverhampton, which gives me encouragement that he'll get to the front in time. He really needs to, because odds of 21 don't exactly count as charity. Souchy Hall Street will run at Wolverhampton, pictured here, at 1:30 p.m. Photograph Nathan Sturkjeti. Images an hour later. Exchequer 2.30 is an interesting addition to David O'Meara's yard, and I'm encouraged to see that early interest has taken his odds to 51 from the original 7s. He was a first-time-out winner for David Brown last year and is now £5 below the mark he had that day. His all-weather striker rate is 3 wins from 8 starts. Pick of Leicester's card may be high expectations. 1.50 from Gordon Elliott's yard. He was looking dangerous when unseating 3 out at Cheltenham last month and gets to run from the same mark. Richard Johnson takes the ride this time and 52 is fair. Tips for all Monday races: Leicester 12.50, Red Square Revival 1.20, Old Harry Rocks 1.50, High Expectations NB 2.20, Tommy Silver 2.50, Hillcrest Fire 3.20, Fair Frank 3.50, Melangerie Wolverhampton 1.00 Mechabao 1.30 Sauchi Hall Street Nep 2.00 Havana Mariposa 2.30 Exchequer 3.00 Swendub 3.30 Inlaud 4.00 Our Greta 4.30 Gabriel's Star Plumpton 1.10 Bold Image 1.40 Keeper Hill 2.10 Manila Voucher 2.40 Flanagan's Field 3.10 Our Socks 3.40 Mad Dab